Sahih al-Bukhari prayer at night, Tahajjud. Sahih al-Bukhari prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Ibn Abbas. When the Prophet got up at night to offer the Tahajjud prayer, he used to say, Allahumma lakal hamd. Anta qayamas samawati wal ard wa man fihina. Walakal hamd. Laka mulkas samawati wal ard wa man fihina. Walakal hamd. Anta nurus samawati wal ard. Walakal hamd. Anta el haq wa waduka lhaq. Walakauka haq. Wakauluka haq. Wal janatu han wan naru haq wanabiyuna haq. Wa Muhammad peace be upon himun. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Haq. Wasatu haq. Allahumma aslam tu laka wabika amantu. Wa alayka tawakkaltu. Wa ilayka anabtu wa bika kasamtu. Wa ilayka hakamtu fagfir li ma kadamtu wama akh kartu wama asrartu wama lantu. Anta el mukadam wa anta el mu akh kir. La ilaha illa anta. Or la ilaha garaka. O Allah, all the praises are for you. You are the holder of the heavens and the earth, and whatever is in them. All the praises are for you. You have the possession of the heavens and the earth and whatever is in them. All the praises are for you. You are the light. Sahih al-Bukhari 1120 reference 19 Hadith 1. Sahih al-Bukhari prayer at night, Tahajjud of the heavens and the earth, and all the praises are for you. You are the King of the heavens and the earth. And all the praises are for you. You are the truth, and your promise is the truth, and to meet you is true. Your word is the truth, and paradise is true, and hell is true, and all the prophets, peace be upon them, are true. And Muhammad peace be upon him is true, and the day of resurrection is true. O Allah, I surrender my will to you. I believe in you and depend on you. And repent to you, and with your help I argue with my opponents, the non-believers, and I take you as a judge, to judge between us. Please forgive me my previous and future sins, and whatever I concealed or revealed, and you are the one who make some people forward and some backward. There is none to be worshipped but you. Sufyan said that Abdul Karim Abu Umayyah added to the above, Wala hawla wala quwwata illa billah. There is neither might nor power except with Allah. Sahih al-Bukhari 1120 reference 19 Hadith 1. Sahih al-Bukhari prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Salim's father. In the lifetime of the Prophet, whosoever saw a dream would narrate it to Allah's Messenger. I had a wish of seeing a dream to narrate it to Allah's Messenger. P.B. U.H. I was a grown-up boy and used to sleep in the mosque in the lifetime of the Prophet. I saw in the dream that two angels caught hold of me and took me to the fire, which was built all round like a built well and had two poles in it, and the people in it were known to me. I started saying, I seek refuge with Allah from the fire. Then I met another angel who told me not to be afraid. I narrated the dream to Hafsa, who told it to Allah's Messenger. The Prophet said, Abdullah is a good man. I wish he prayed Tahajjud. After that Abdullah, that is Salim's father, used to sleep but a little at night. Sahih al-Bukhari 1121, 1122 reference 19 Hadith 2. Sahih al-Bukhari prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Aisha. Allah's Messenger used to offer 11 rakat, and that was his prayer. He used to prolong the prostration to such an extent that one could recite 50 verses of the Quran before he would lift his head. He used to pray 2 rakat, sunnah, before the Fajr prayer, and then used to lie down on his right side till the call-maker came and informed him about the prayer. Sahih al-Bukhari 1123 reference 19 Hadith 3. Sahih al-Bukhari prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Jundab. The Prophet became sick and did not get up for Tahajjud prayer for a night or two. Sahih al-Bukhari 1124 reference 19 Hadith 4. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Jundab bin Abdullah. Gabriel did not come to the Prophet for some time, and so one of the Quraysh women said, "His Satan has deserted him." So came the divine revelation, by the forenoon and by the night when it is still. Your Lord, O Muhammad, peace be upon him, has neither forsaken you nor hated you. 93.1-3. Sahih al-Bukhari 1125 reference 19 Hadith 5. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Salama. One night the Prophet got up and said, Subhanallah. How many afflictions Allah has revealed tonight and how many treasures have been sent down, disclosed. Go and wake the sleeping lady occupants of these dwellings up for prayers. Perhaps a well-dressed in this world may be naked in the hereafter. Sahih al-Bukhari 1126 reference 19 Hadith 6. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Ali bin Abi Talib. One night Allah's messenger came to me and Fatima, the daughter of the Prophet, and asked, "Want you pray at night?" I said, "O Allah's messenger, our souls are in the hands of Allah, and if He wants us to get up He will make us get up." When I said that, he left us without saying anything, and I heard that he was hitting his thigh and saying, "But man is more quarrelsome than anything." 18.54. Sahih al-Bukhari 1127 reference 19 Hadith 7. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Aisha. Allah's messenger used to give up a good deed, although he loved to do it, for fear that people might act on it and it might be made compulsory for them. The Prophet never prayed the duha prayer, but I offer it. Sahih al-Bukhari 1128 reference 19 Hadith 8. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Aisha, the mother of the faithful believers. One night Allah's messenger offered the prayer in the mosque and the people followed him. The next night he also offered the prayer and too many people gathered. On the third and the fourth nights more people gathered, but Allah's messenger did not come out to them. In the morning he said, "I saw what you were doing, and nothing but the fear that it, that is the prayer, might be enjoined on you, stopped me from coming to you." And that happened in the month of Ramadan. Sahih al-Bukhari 1129 reference 19 Hadith 9. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated al-Mughira. The Prophet used to stand in the prayer or pray till both his feet or legs swelled. He was asked why he offered such an unbearable prayer, and he said, "Should I not be a thankful slave?" Sahih al-Bukhari 1130 reference 19 Hadith 10. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Abdullah bin Amr bin al-As. Allah's messenger told me, the most beloved prayer to Allah is that of David, and the most beloved fasts to Allah are those of David. He used to sleep for half of the night and then pray for 1/3 of the night and again sleep for its 6th part, and used to fast on alternate days. Sahih al-Bukhari 1131 reference 19 Hadith 11. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Masruq. I asked Aisha which deed was most loved by the Prophet. She said, "A deed done continuously." I further asked, when did he used to get up in the night for the prayer? She said, he used to get up on hearing the crowing of a cock. Sahih al-Bukhari 1132 reference 19 Hadith 12. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated al-Ashith. He, the Prophet, P.B. U. H. used to get up for the prayer on hearing the crowing of a cock. Sahih al-Bukhari 1132b reference 19 Hadith 13. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Aisha. In my house he, Prophet, P. B. U. H. never passed the last hours of the night but sleeping. Sahih al-Bukhari 1133 reference 19 Hadith 14. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Qatada. Anas bin Malik said, the Prophet, P. B. U. H. and Zayd bin Thabit took their Sahur together. When they finished it, the Prophet stood for the Fajr prayer and offered it. We asked Anas, what was the interval between their finishing the Sahur and the starting of the morning prayer? Anas replied, it was equal to the time taken by a person in reciting 50 verses of the Quran. Sahih al-Bukhari 1134 reference 19 Hadith 15. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Abu Wail. Abdullah said, one night I offered the Tahajjud prayer with the Prophet and he kept on standing till an ill thought came to me. We said, what was the ill thought? He said, it was to sit down and leave the Prophet standing. Sahih al-Bukhari 1135 reference 19 Hadith 16. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Hudhayfa. Whenever the Prophet got up for Tahajjud prayer he used to clean his mouth and teeth with siwak. Sahih al-Bukhari 1136 reference 19 Hadith 17. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Abdullah bin Umar. A man said, O Allah's Messenger, how is the prayer of the night? He said, 2 rakat followed by 2 rakat and so on, and when you apprehend the approaching dawn, offer 1 rakah as witr. Sahih al-Bukhari 1137 reference 19 Hadith 18. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Ibn Abbas. The prayer of the Prophet used to be of 13 rakat, that is of the night prayer. Sahih al-Bukhari 1138 reference 19 Hadith 19. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Masruq. I asked Aisha about the night prayer of Allah's Messenger and she said, it was 7, 9 or 11 rakat besides the 2 rakat of the Fajr prayer, that is Sunnah. Sahih al-Bukhari 1139 reference 19 Hadith 20. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Aisha. The Prophet, P. B. U. H. used to offer 13 rakat of the night prayer and that included the witr and 2 rakat, Sunnah, of the Fajr prayer. Sahih al-Bukhari 1140 reference 19 Hadith 21. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Anas bin Malik. Sometimes Allah's Messenger would not fast for so many days that we thought that he would not fast that month, and he sometimes used to fast for so many days that we thought he would not leave fasting throughout that month. And as regards his prayer and sleep at night, if you wanted to see him praying at night, you could see him praying, and if you wanted to see him sleeping, you could see him sleeping. Sahih al-Bukhari 1141 reference 19 Hadith 22. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Abu Huraira. Allah's Messenger said, Satan puts 3 knots at the back of the head of any of you if he is asleep. On every knot he reads and exhales the following words, the night is long, so stay asleep. When one wakes up and remembers Allah, 1 knot is undone. And when one performs ablution, the 2nd knot is undone. And when one prays, the 3rd knot is undone, and one gets up energetic with a good heart in the morning. Otherwise one gets up lazy and with a mischievous heart. Sahih al-Bukhari 1142 reference 19 Hadith 23. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Samurah bin Jundab. The Prophet said in his narration of a dream that he saw, he whose head was being crushed with a stone was one who learnt the Quran but never acted on it, and slept ignoring the compulsory prayers. Sahih al-Bukhari 1143 reference 19 Hadith 24. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Abdullah. A person was mentioned before the Prophet, P.B. U.H., and he was told that he had kept on sleeping till morning and had not got up for the prayer. The Prophet said, Satan urinated in his ears. Sahih al-Bukhari 1144 reference 19 Hadith 25. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Abu Hurairah. Allah's Messenger, P.B. U.H., said, Our Lord, the Blessed, the Superior, comes every night down on the nearest heaven to us when the last third of the night remains, saying, Is there anyone to invoke me, so that I may respond to invocation? Is there anyone to ask me, so that I may grant him his request? Is there anyone seeking my forgiveness, so that I may forgive him? Sahih al-Bukhari 1145 reference 19 Hadith 26. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated al-Aswad. I asked Aisha how is the night prayer of the Prophet. She replied, he used to sleep early at night, and get up in its last part to pray, and then return to his bed. When the muaddin pronounced the adhan, he would get up. If he was in need of a bath he would take it, otherwise he would perform ablution and then go out, for the prayer. Sahih al-Bukhari 1146 reference 19 Hadith 27. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Abu Salma bin Abdur Rahman. I asked Aisha, how is the prayer of Allah's Messenger during the month of Ramadan? She said, Allah's Messenger never exceeded 11 rakat in Ramadan or in other months. He used to offer 4 rakat, do not ask me about their beauty and length. Then 4 rakat, do not ask me about their beauty and length, and then 3 rakat. Aisha further said, I said, O Allah's Messenger, do you sleep before offering the witr prayer? He replied, O Aisha, my eyes sleep but my heart remains awake. Sahih al-Bukhari 1147 reference 19 Hadith 28. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Aisha. I did not see the Prophet reciting the Quran in the night prayer while sitting except when he became old, when he used to recite while sitting, and when 30 or 40 verses remained from the surah, he would get up and recite them and then bow. Sahih al-Bukhari 1148 reference 19 Hadith 29. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Abu Hurairah. At the time of the Fajr prayer the Prophet asked Bilal, Tell me of the best deed you did after embracing Islam, for I heard your footsteps in front of me in paradise. Bilal replied, I did not do anything worth mentioning except that whenever I performed ablution during the day or night, I prayed after that ablution as much as was written for me. Sahih al-Bukhari 1149 reference 19 Hadith 30. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Anas bin Malik once the Prophet, P.B. U.H., entered the mosque and saw a rope hanging in between its 2 pillars. He said, What is this rope? The people said, This rope is for Zainab who, when she feels tired, holds it, to keep standing for the prayer. The Prophet said, Don't use it. Remove the rope. You should pray as long as you feel active, and when you get tired, sit down. Sahih al-Bukhari 1150 reference 19 Hadith 31. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Aisha. A woman from the tribe of Bani Asad was sitting with me and Allah's apostle, P. B. U. H. came to my house and said, "Who is this?" I said, "She is so and so. She does not sleep at night because she is engaged in prayer." The Prophet said disapprovingly, "Do good deeds which is within your capacity, as Allah never gets tired of giving rewards till you get tired of doing good deeds." Sahih al-Bukhari 1151 reference 19 Hadith 32. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Abdullah bin Amr bin al-As. Allah's Messenger said to me, "O Abdullah, do not be like so and so who used to pray at night and then stopped the night prayer." Sahih al-Bukhari 1152 reference 19 Hadith 33. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Abdullah bin Amr. Once Allah's Messenger said to me, "I have been informed that you offer salat, prayer, all the night and observe Psalm, fast, during the day." I said, "Yes, I do so." He said, "If you do so, your eyesight will become weak and you will become weak. No doubt, your body has right on you, and your family has right on you, so observe Psalm, for some days. And do not observe it, for some days, offer salat, for some time, and then sleep." Sahih al-Bukhari 1153 reference 19 Hadith 34. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Ubadah bin as-Samit. The Prophet, whoever gets up at night and says, "La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu lahu el-mulk, wallahu el-hamd wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. Alhamdulillahi wa subhanallahi wa la ilaha illallah wa allahu akbar wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah." None has the right to be worshipped but Allah. He is the only one and has no partners. For Him is the kingdom and all the praises are due for Him. He is omnipotent. All the praises are for Allah. All the glories are for Allah. And none has the right to be worshipped but Allah, and Allah is great and there is neither might nor power except with Allah. And then says, "Allahumma, I for Li, O Allah, forgive me," or invokes Allah. He will be responded to, and if he performs ablution and prays, his prayer will be accepted. Sahih al-Bukhari 1154 reference 19 Hadith 35. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Abu Hurairah. That once Allah's Messenger, P. B. U. H. said, "Your brother, that is Abdullah bin Rawaha, does not say obscene," referring to his verses. Amongst us is Allah's Messenger, who recites his book when it dawns. He showed us the guidance, after we were blind. We believe that whatever he says will come true. And he spends his nights in such a way as his sides do not touch his bed. While the pagans were deeply asleep. Sahih al-Bukhari 1155 reference 19 Hadith 36. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Nafi. Ibn Umar said, "In the lifetime of the Prophet I dreamt that a piece of silk cloth was in my hand and it flew with me to whichever part of paradise I wanted. I also saw as if two persons, that is angels, came to me and wanted to take me to hell. Then an angel met us and told me not to be afraid. He then told them to leave me." Hafsa narrated one of my dreams to the Prophet, and the Prophet said, "Abdullah is a good man. Would that he offer the night prayer, Tahajjud." So after that day Abdullah bin Umar started offering Tahajjud. The companions of the Prophet, P. B. U. H. used to tell him their dreams that Laylatul Qadr was on the 27th of the month of Ramadan. The Prophet said, "I see that your dreams agree on the last 10 nights of Ramadan, and so whoever is in search of it should seek it in the last 10 nights of Ramadan." Sahih al-Bukhari 1156, 1157, 1158 reference 19 Hadith 37. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Aisha. Allah's Messenger offered the Isha prayer, and then got up at the Tahajjud time, and offered 8 rakat and then offered 2 rakat while sitting. He then offered 2 rakat in between the Adhan and Iqama of the Fajr prayer, and he never missed them. Sahih al-Bukhari 1159 reference 19 Hadith 38. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Aisha. The Prophet used to lie down on his right side, after offering 2 rakat, sunnah, of the Fajr prayer. Sahih al-Bukhari 1160 reference 19 Hadith 39. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Aisha. After offering the sunnah of the Fajr prayer, the Prophet used to talk to me, if I happened to be awake. Otherwise he would lie down till the Iqama call was proclaimed, for the Fajr prayer. Sahih al-Bukhari 1161 reference 19 Hadith 40. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Aisha. After offering the 2 rakat, sunnah, the Prophet, p.b. U.H., used to talk to me, if I happened to be awake. Otherwise he would lie down. Sahih al-Bukhari 1162 reference 19 Hadith 41. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Aisha. The Prophet was never more regular and particular in offering any nawafil than the 2 rakat, sunnah, of the Fajr prayer. Sahih al-Bukhari 1163 reference 19 Hadith 42. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Aisha. Allah's Messenger used to offer 13 rakat in the night prayer, and on hearing the Adhan for the morning prayer, he used to offer 2 light rakat. Sahih al-Bukhari 1164 reference 19 Hadith 43. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Aisha. The Prophet, p.b. U.H., used to make the 2 rakat before the Fajr prayer so light that I would wonder whether he recited al-Fatiha or not. Sahih al-Bukhari 1165 reference 19 Hadith 44. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Habir bin Abdullah. The Prophet, p.b. U.H., used to teach us the way of doing istikhara. Istikhara means to ask Allah to guide one to the right sort of action concerning any job or a deed, in all matters, as he taught us the surahs of the Quran. He said, if any one of you thinks of doing any job, he should offer a 2 rakat prayer other than the compulsory ones and say, after the prayer, Allahumma inni astahiruka biilmika, wa astakdiruka bi kudratika, wa asalaka min fadlika al-azlmfa inaka takdiru wala akdiru, wa talamu wala alamu, wa anta alamu el-gayub. Allahumma, in kunta talam ana hada lamra khairan li fi dini wa mashi wa kibati amri, or ahili amri wajilihi. Faktorhu wa yassirhu li thumma barik li fihi. Wa in kunta talamu ana hada lamra shar run li fi dini wa mashi wa kibati amri, or fiajili amri wa ahilihi. Fasrifhu ani was rifni anhu. Waqdir li al-Khaira haythu kana thumma ardina bihi. O Allah, I ask guidance from your knowledge, and power from your might. Sahih al-Bukhari 1166 reference 19 Hadith 45. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud, and I ask for your great blessings. You are capable and I am not. You know and I do not, and you know the unseen. O Allah, if you know that this job is good for my religion and my subsistence and in my hereafter, or said, if it is better for my present and later needs, then you ordain it for me and make it easy for me to get, and then bless me in it, and if you know that this job is harmful to me in my religion and subsistence and in the hereafter, or said, if it is worse for my present and later needs, then keep it away from me and let me be away from it. And ordain for me whatever is good for me, and make me satisfied with it. The Prophet added that then the person should mention, his need. Sahih al-Bukhari 1166 reference 19 Hadith 45. Sahih al-Bukhari, prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Abu Qatada bin Rabi al-Ansari. The Prophet said, if any one of you enters a mosque, he should not sit until he has offered a tuwarik at prayer. Sahih al-Bukhari 1167 reference 19 Hadith 46. Sahih al-Bukhari, prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Anas bin Malik. Allah's Messenger led us and offered a 2 rakat prayer and then went away. Sahih al-Bukhari 1168 reference 19 Hadith 47. Sahih al-Bukhari, prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Abdullah bin Umar Abu. I offered with Allah's Messenger a 2 rakat prayer before the Zuhr prayer and 2 rakat after the Zuhr prayer, 2 rakat after Jamu'ah, Maghrib and Isha prayers. Sahih al-Bukhari 1169 reference 19 Hadith 48. Sahih al-Bukhari, prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Habir bin Abdullah. While delivering a sermon, Allah's Messenger said, if any one of you comes while the Imam is delivering the sermon or has come out for it, he should offer a 2 rakat prayer. Sahih al-Bukhari 1170 reference 19 Hadith 49. Sahih al-Bukhari, prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Mujahid. Somebody came to the house of Ibn Umar and told him that Allah's Messenger had entered the Kaaba. Ibn Umar said, I went in front of the Kaaba and found that Allah's Messenger had come out of the Kaaba and I saw Bilal standing by the side of the gate of the Kaaba. I said, O Bilal, has Allah's Apostle, P.B.U. prayed inside the Kaaba? Bilal replied in the affirmative. I said, where did he pray? He replied, he prayed between these 2 pillars and then he came out and offered a 2 rakat prayer in front of the Kaaba. Abu Abdullah said. Abu Hurairah said, the Prophet, P.B.U. advised me to offer 2 rakat of duha prayer to be offered after sunrise and before midday. Itban bin Malik said, Allah's Messenger, P.B.U. and Abu Bakr came to me after sunrise and we aligned behind the Prophet, P.B.U. and offered 2 rakat. Sahih al-Bukhari 1171 reference 19 Hadith 50. Sahih al-Bukhari, prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Ibn Umar. I offered with the Prophet 2 rakat before the Zuhr and 2 rakat after the Zuhr prayer, 2 rakat after Maghrib, Isha and the Jamu'ah prayers. Those of the Maghrib and Isha were offered in his house. My sister Hafsa told me that the Prophet used to offer 2 light rakat after dawn and it was the time when I never went to the Prophet. Sahih al-Bukhari 1172, 1173 reference 19 Hadith 51. Sahih al-Bukhari, prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Amr. I heard Abu Ash-Shatha Habir saying, I heard Ibn Abbas saying, I offered with Allah's Messenger 8 rakat, of Zuhr and Asr prayers, together and 7 rakat, the Maghrib and the Isha prayers, together. I said, O Abu Ash-Shatha, I think he must have prayed the Zuhr late and the Asr early, the Isha early and the Maghrib late. Abu Ash-Shatha said, I also think so. See Hadith number 518 Volume 1. Sahih al-Bukhari 1174 reference 19 Hadith 52. Sahih al-Bukhari, prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Muwarik. I asked Ibn Umar, do you offer the duha prayer? He replied in the negative. I further asked, did Umar used to pray it? He, Ibn Umar, replied in the negative. I again asked, did Abu Bakr used to pray it? He replied in the negative. I again asked, did the Prophet used to pray it? Ibn Umar replied, I don't think he did. Sahih al-Bukhari 1175 reference 19 Hadith 53. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Abdur Rahman bin Abi Layla. Only Hani narrated to me that she had seen the Prophet offering the duha prayer. She said, on the day of the conquest of Mecca, the Prophet entered my house, took a bath and offered 8 rakat of duha prayers. I had never seen the Prophet offering such a light prayer, but he performed bowing and prostrations perfectly. Sahih al-Bukhari 1176 reference 19 Hadith 54. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Aisha. I never saw the Prophet offering the duha prayer, but I always offer it. Sahih al-Bukhari 1177 reference 19 Hadith 55. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Abu Huraira. My friend, the Prophet, advised me to do 3 things and I shall not leave them till I die. These are, to fast 3 days every month, to offer the duha prayer, and to offer witr before sleeping. Sahih al-Bukhari 1178 reference 19 Hadith 56. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Anas bin Surin. I heard Anas bin Malik al-Ansari saying, an Ansari man, who was very fat, said to the Prophet, I am unable to present myself for the prayer with you. He prepared a meal for the Prophet and invited him to his house. He washed one side of a mat with water and the Prophet offered 2 rakat on it. So and so, the son of so and so, the son of Al-Jarid asked Anas, did the Prophet used to offer the duha prayer? Anas replied, I never saw him praying the duha prayer, except on that day. Sahih al-Bukhari 1179 reference 19 Hadith 57. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Ibn Umar. I remember 10 rakat of Nawafil from the Prophet, 2 rakat before the Zuhr prayer and 2 after it. 2 rakat after Maghrib prayer in his house, and 2 rakat after Isha prayer in his house, and 2 rakat before the Fajr prayer, and at that time nobody would enter the house of the Prophet. Hafsa told me that the Prophet used to offer 2 rakat after the call-maker had made the adhan and the day had dawned. Sahih al-Bukhari 1181 reference 19 Hadith 58. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Aisha. The Prophet never missed 4 rakat before the Zuhr prayer and 2 rakat before the Fajr prayer. Sahih al-Bukhari 1182 reference 19 Hadith 59. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Abdullah al-Muzni. The Prophet said, pray before the Maghrib, compulsory prayer. He said it thrice, and in the 3rd time, he said, whoever wants to offer it can do so. He said so because he did not like the people to take it as a tradition. Sahih al-Bukhari 1183 reference 19 Hadith 60. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Marthad bin Abdullah al-Yazani. I went to Uqba bin Amir al-Juhani and said, is it not surprising that Abi Tamim offers 2 rakat before the Maghrib prayer? Uqba said, we used to do so in the lifetime of Allah's Messenger. I asked him, what prevents you from offering it now? He replied, business. Sahih al-Bukhari 1184 reference 19 Hadith 61. Sahih al-Bukhari. Prayer at night, Tahajjud narrated Mahmud bin Ar Rabi al-Ansari. that he remembered Allah's Messenger, and he also remembered a mouthful of water which he had thrown on his face, after taking it from a well that was in their house. Mahmud said that he had heard Ibn bin Malik, who was present with Allah's Messenger in the Battle of Badr, saying, I used to lead my people at Bani Salim in the prayer, and there was a valley between me and those people. Whenever it rained, it used to be difficult for me to cross it to go to their mosque. So I went to Allah's Messenger and said, I have weak eyesight, and the valley between me and my people flows during the rainy season, and it becomes difficult for me to cross it. I wish you would come to my house and pray at a place so that I could take that place as a praying place. Allah's Messenger said, I will do so. So Allah's Messenger and Abu Bakr came to my house in the next morning after the sun had risen high. Allah's Messenger asked my permission to let him in, and I admitted. Sahih al-Bukhari 1185, 1186, reference 19, Hadith 62. Sahih al-Bukhari, prayer at night, Tahajjud him. He did not sit before saying, Where do you want us to offer the prayer in your house? I pointed to the place where I wanted him to pray. So Allah's Messenger stood up for the prayer and started the prayer with takbir, and we aligned in rows behind him. And he offered 2 rakat, and finished them with taslim, and we also performed taslim with him. I detained him for a meal called kazir, which I had prepared for him. Kazir is a special type of dish prepared from barley flour and meat soup. When the neighbors got the news that Allah's Messenger was in my house, they poured it till there were a great number of men in the house. One of them said, What is wrong with Malik, for I do not see him? One of them replied, He is a hypocrite and does not love Allah and His Apostle. On that Allah's Apostle said, Don't say this. Haven't you seen that he said, None has the right to be worshipped but Allah, for Allah's sake only? The man replied, Allah and His Apostle know better, but by Allah, we. Sahih al-Bukhari 1185, 1186, reference 19, Hadith 62. Sahih al-Bukhari, prayer at night, Tahajjud never saw him but helping and talking with the hypocrites. Allah's Messenger replied, No doubt, whoever says, None has the right to be worshipped but Allah, and by that he wants the pleasures of Allah, then Allah will save him from hell. Mahmud added, I told the above narration to some people, one of whom was Abu Ayyub, the companion of Allah's Messenger in the battle in which he, Abu Ayyub, died, and Yazid bin Muawiyah was their leader in Roman territory. Abu Ayyub denounced the narration and said, I doubt that Allah's Messenger ever said what you have said. I felt that too much, and I vowed to Allah that if I remained alive in that holy battle, I would go to Medina and ask Ibn bin Malik if he was still living in the mosque of his people. So when he returned, I assumed ihram for Hajj or Umrah, and then I proceeded on till I reached Medina. I went to Bani Salim, and Ibn bin Malik, who was by then an old blind man, was leading his people in the prayer. When he finished the prayer, Sahih al-Bukhari 1185, 1186, reference 19, Hadith 62. Sahih al-Bukhari, prayer at night, Tahajjud. I greeted him and introduced myself to him, and then asked him about that narration. He told that narration again in the same manner as he had narrated it the first time. Sahih al-Bukhari 1185, 1186, reference 19, Hadith 62. Sahih al-Bukhari, prayer at night, Tahajjud. Narrated Ibn Umar. Allah's Messenger said, Offer some of your prayers in your houses and do not make them graves. Sahih al-Bukhari 1187, reference 19, Hadith 63.